On today's episode of the Gamer Girl podcast, Elizabeth discusses her top 5 boss fights from Splatoon 2. Hey everybody, so today's episode I'm going to talk about my top 5 Splatoon 2 boss fights. So, quickly, I do have some listener feedback on the top 5 Mario sports games episode. I put a question out on Spotify saying, what's your favorite Mario sports game? And the user Mad Dog replied with, my favorite Mario sports game and first one I ever played is Mario Tennis Open, the one on the 3DS. That game was the reason I wanted to start playing tennis, plus the extra modes were awesome. So, I thought that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool how Mad Dog wanted to play tennis in real life because she really enjoyed playing Mario Tennis Open on her 3DS. And another thing is I actually have a similar story to that. I wanted to play T-ball when I was younger and later softball because I really enjoyed playing the Mario baseball game on the Wii. So feel free to answer the questions I put out on Spotify for the different episodes, and feel free to leave a comment on YouTube, or leave a review on Apple Podcasts, or give us a 5. Please, I encourage you, give the podcast a 5-star rating on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, depending on what you listen on. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into the episode. So again, my top 5 Splatoon 2 boss fights. Quickly, one thing I want to say is with this, I'm going to be having and including Octo Expansion, because if I didn't include Octo Expansion, it would just be a ranking for the main story mode boss fights, because there's only 5 boss fights in the normal story mode. So now I'm just gonna start with my number 5, and my number 5 is Inner Agent 3 from the Octo Expansion. And in this fight, you use the Octo Shot. So how you get to this battle is by collecting all 80 full mem cakes, which is beating the level legitimately without asking for help from Marina, and completing the escape levels for the giant statue without skipping. This boss fight is a rematch against a harder version of Agent 3, because you do face Sanitized Agent 3 when you're originally going up the tower and you have to escape. But the Inner Agent 3 is much harder. I have actually not done it myself, but I have a friend who's played it before, and they said it was hard. It's much harder. So the boss behaves similar to the Sanitized Agent 3 batter, but it has significantly increased health, significantly increased accuracy, and aggressiveness. The arena itself is also much smaller, and the walls and cover present cannot be inked, so that makes it harder as well. The color set is blue and orange, or pink and green if color lock is on for the player and the boss respectively. So you can either do it the classic Splatoon colors, or you can do the Splatoon 2 main colors, which is cool. So yeah, number 5, Inner Agent 3 from the Octo Expansion. So my number 4 is the Octo Shower, which you fight using Sheldon requests to use the Hero Sniper. The Octo Shower is I wouldn't say extremely difficult boss fight, but it is fairly challenging for me. So how it goes is you have to shoot the octocopters, and then the octocopters get more gear and start going faster. And you have to be able... The goal is to attack it after it attacks you, because then it can't dodge. Or right after you shoot one of the octocopters, if you shoot another one, it can't dodge, I don't think. But I really liked the normal Octo Shower boss fight. It uses, though, a Stingray, I'm pretty sure. And then it also uses a Splatling, a gun similar to the Octo Splatling. It's fairly challenging, but not... Well, the Octo expansion one, though, was harder because you're in the Inkjet, so it makes it harder. That one's not on the top 5, but the Octo Shower remaster for the Octo expansion is definitely harder. And with that, we're going to go to the break. Again, my number 4 is Octo Shower, and I'll see you all after the break. And we're back. So again, my number 4 was the Octo Shower, which Sheldon requests to use the Hero Sniper for. So on to my number 3. My number 3 is Revenge of the Octo Samurai, which is part of the Octo expansion. The reason I picked this one over the normal Octo Samurai, that's in the normal hero mode playthrough for Splatoon 2, is because in the normal hero mode, Sheldon requests you use the hero roller. In the Octo expansion, Revenge of the Octo Samurai version, you use the baller, which in my opinion makes the fight a whole lot harder because it is much easier to get knocked off the course. Because you're in a little ball, so it's much easier to get knocked off the course. So, my cat's coming and saying hi to me. She's saying hi to you guys. So, again, number 3, Revenge of the Octo Samurai. I picked this one over the normal hero mode Octo Samurai fight because you use the baller, which again increases the difficulty a whole bunch because it's much easier to get knocked off the stage. So, my number 2 is the Octobot King 2 fight, which you use the hero shot for the first 2 phases, and then you use the hero Rainmaker. I'm not sure if that's the actual name for it, but you use the hero Rainmaker for the 3rd phase. The Octobot King 2 is the final fight for the normal hero mode, the final boss fight. The first phase, you're fighting Callie and DJ Octavio. Second fight, Callie's regaining her senses, and you're just fighting DJ Octavio for the most part. And then the third is you're fighting DJ Octavio in the sky, and Callie is good again and not hypnotized anymore. So I thought they pulled it off very well doing the boss fight again. I personally really enjoyed I actually haven't done the Octobot King 2 fight yet, but I really like the way it looks, and I think they definitely did it well. Because sometimes I feel like it can be hard to do a boss over without making it super repetitive, but I felt like they changed it a fair amount to make it not super competitive, but you could still tell it was supposed to be the same boss fight. So, my number 2 is Octobot King 2 fight, which is the final boss of the normal hero mode for Splatoon 2. And without further ado, my number 1 is the Commander Tartar fight, which is the giant statue fight from the Octo expansion. You use this fight with the Octo Shot. I really like the music going with this, the Fly Octo Fly / Ebb and Flow medley sort of thing that they have. I really enjoy that. And like the music that goes with it. Also, the idea that you have a timer. The timer adds a level of difficulty to it, which they give you a fair, just enough time to do it. But it's not, if you know what you're doing, it's not extremely hard. But I really like how it is end of the world. If you don't do this, everybody's gonna get splatted. In Inkopolis, everyone in Inkopolis is gonna get splatted. Which, if you don't do it within the timer, a scene occurs where all of Inkopolis gets splatted, and then you have to start over. But you have to explode the giant suction bombs, which is also cool. And then the idea of turning the entire stone statue pink is cool, and I like it. And just overall, I really enjoy the boss fight. So my top 5 list is number 5, Inner Agent 3. Number 4, Octo Shower. Number 3, Revenge of the Octo Samurai. Number 2, Octobot King 2. And number 1, Commander Tartar. So I have only 2 honorable mentions, which I'll go over real quick. The first honorable mention I have is Sanitized Agent 3, which is from the Octo expansion, and you use the Octo Shop for it. Sanitized Agent 3 is the easier version, the basic version of the Inner Agent 3 fight. You fight Sanitized Agent 3, which is Agent 3 being mind-controlled by the strange goo that Commander Tartar makes. So, it's kind of cool how you're fighting a brainwashed Sanitized Agent 3. And, quickly, I just thought about this. Inner Agent 3 is thought to be the Octoling's inner hero, and the Octoling has to fight their inner hero because it's like, no, I'm an Octoling. Well, I don't really know. There's a bunch of theory videos on it, I guess. So anyway, again, honorable mention, Sanitized Agent 3. And my other honorable mention is the other boss fight that wasn't DJ Octavio's, that was repeated, which is the Mighty Octo Stomp, which you're like, oh, this is just the same thing as before from Splatoon 1. This will be easy. Easy fight, get this out of the way. Well, what ends up happening then, well, also it's like, oh, just a little bit of added difficulty, or maybe it makes it easier, but Sheldon requests you use the hero dualies for it. So you're just kind of like, oh, Mighty Octostomp, this will just be the same as the Octostomp battle from Splatoon 1, right? Well, you get 1 splat on it, and you finish phase 1 up, and then phase 2, you fight the Neo Octostomp, and the Octostomp gets a jacket, and then you have to shoot the buckle for the jacket, so that way you can attack the main boss and defeat it. So, today was a bit of a shorter episode. I do hope you all have a wonderful, all of you in the Northern Hemisphere, have a wonderful spring break. Or maybe you don't do spring break, but I hope you all have a wonderful week. And it's crazy to think, but my next episode will be the season finale, and then I'm going to take a break. I'll explain more about that in the season finale. But I'm going to take a break and from recording for about a month, and then I'll hit you with season 2. Crazy to think we're already almost through 1 season. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and again, quickly, if you want to email me, it's at thegamergirlpodcast@gmail.com. Again, please leave a 5-star review on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe if you're listening on YouTube, and leave a comment on YouTube if you want to, or leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day and wonderful week. See you next episode. Bye!